I loved having my son in daycare here, so I've got such a connection with my family and Camosun. How I first heard about Camosun was my sister-in-law worked here, Cindy Shields, and mentioned that it was a good place to work. So many years later, I'm still here. And then my son, actually, after he finished daycare, of course, he came back and graduated from the business school in business admin marketing, and is using that to great success. And my husband also went through Camosun. He was a plumbing apprentice years ago, and then from that we started our own business, and I took a bookkeeping for small business course through CE, so just keeping it in the family.
I consider it a family. We've bonded over the years, and we work towards a common goal, and I find there's so many people on the campus and at Camosun in general that are very knowledgeable, very understanding and caring individuals that are working towards the same goal of helping students out. And I know that they're always there for me, even on a personal level. I've been through good and bad times like we all do, but I know that they've always been there to support me. And I will forever be grateful for that, and that's a very good memory that I'll take with me, wherever I go.
20 years ago, when I was in my 6-month probationary period, I worked as a secretary for Lou Dryden, and he was the VP of Education at that time. And during that time, I found out I was pregnant. And I was worried because I wanted to be successful in becoming a permanent employee at Camosun, but I didn't know if that would have any effect on them making me permanent at the college. So I was nervous. I approached Lou Dryden and I said, I have something to tell you, and I broke out crying, because the hormones were going and everything. And I said, Lou, I'm pregnant. And he came up to me and he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, April, he said, when you're 90 years old, you're not going to be thinking about Camosun. It's about your family.
So I believe in the early 90s there was ball at Camosun, and Camosun had ball teams. And so one of the first ball teams I was on was with Dennis in facility services, and a few of the other people who have since retired. We used to play ball on the fields off Cary Road. It used to belong to Camosun College as well. So that was a really great way to get faculty and staff all together in we'd play ball every year, slow pitch, so that was a lot of fun.
So one of the instructors always parked his motorbike out the back door, and when you swung the door open, you would often hit the motorcycle and it would start to fall over. And I protested several times and asked Gene to park his bike somewhere else, and he said it was always fine. So one night, it did fall over. I picked it up, and I grabbed the forklift, which was in the backyard, and a pallet, and we moved his motorbike onto top of the classroom. Had a student help me put it up there. Gene Sander, my mentor, a good friend, he walked by, couldn't find his motorbike. And 5 times he walked by, and then he looked up above the classroom, he saw it. He came into the classroom, and he offered any student in the class an A in one of his courses if they would tell him who had done it. The students who had watched and one who had helped had no knowledge of this. He didn't find out for 2 years, and when I did tell him, he punched me.
Really?
You can edit that part out.
So the best course I ever took at Camosun, probably ever, for a credit course was the one I took last fall 2013, the Anthropology of Food with Nicole Kilburn. It was an amazing course. It's changed the way I look at food sustainability, what I eat on a daily basis, just an awareness of how we're affecting the earth, all those things that typically one doesn't think of when you're making breakfast, but now I do. I really have an insight into what effect that we individually have on the world, and that was due to a single course. So Camosun, life-changing learning in action.